Hey, loves, you might think that you are going to be with your specific person, but I know for a fact that you will. And the reason is knowing something is much different than just thinking something. And I know this seems very simple and very easy and something you may not even think about, but it makes a huge difference when it comes to manifestation. Because ask yourself, what are things that you just think about? What are things that you just contemplate, right? When you're thinking about something, it's not necessarily your reality. When you're thinking about something, it's just on your mind, right? It's a possibility rather than being something that's in your reality. We don't necessarily act or do things in accordance to what we think in the same way that we don't manifest what we think, we manifest what we are. But thinking doesn't necessarily take us where we want to go in the same way that doing your affirmations, although they're very positive and can put you into the state, are not actually the power bringing you to your manifestation. We all know the power that is creating your reality is within you. And so thinking about something is not necessarily how we're going to get there in the quickest way possible, but instead think about stuff that you know. What is something that you know in your reality? And everything you say in regards to things that you know are going to be things that are obvious and are a part of who you are and your way of being. When you know something, it affects everything that you do. It affects your thoughts, it affects your beliefs. It becomes, again, who you are and the way you act in everything around you. And you can say, knowing something is in alignment with that state of being, and which you've heard a lot of times in my videos that I talk about is the main factor that causes people to manifest. Because many people in coaching sessions will ask, okay, why am I manifesting now, but I haven't been manifesting in the past? Like, I've tried this so many other times. Why is it working now? And this is because we focus on our way of being or a knowing of what we want rather than just thinking upon it. As you change who you truly are, you are going to alter your entire reality. So we need to know, in the same way that I know you are going to be with your specific person, you need to know that as well and not just think about it, because you don't do things that you think about. You don't act in accordance to things you think about. You act in accordance to things that you know. Knowing something alters exactly who you are. And if you were to think about someone who wants to wake up and go to the gym tomorrow or later today, someone who's just thinking about it is going to act much differently than the person who knows. And you would say, okay, why though? And the knowing is connecting to their way of being. They know that they are going to the gym later, and thus everything becomes in alignment to this idea, and they create it and they manifest it. The person that's just thinking about going to the gym, honestly, if you were to be honest, what is your confidence that they actually go to the gym, right? In the same way, what is your confidence with someone who just thinks they'll be with their specific person as compared to someone who knows that they'll be with their specific person? They are going to react, act, and have a much different confidence behind them. You can also think about it in this way. What are you going to have for dinner tonight? The person that is thinking about what to have for dinner is kind of confused or in a state of not really knowing, right? All of their actions, thoughts, and beliefs are not aligned to a particular goal, and thus everything is confusing or everything is at random. But the person who knows exactly what they want for dinner is aligned with that state of being. And I know it's funny because we don't think about dinner as being a manifestation, but everything around you is a manifestation. So the person who knows exactly what they're going to have for dinner prepares mentally, physically, and internally towards it. The way that they imagine their outcome, in the same way that once you go from thinking about being with your specific person to knowing, your mental images towards your end state are going to be much different. What you believe to be possible is going to be altered immediately. Your specific person then texting you right here in this moment doesn't seem strange or bizarre at all because you know it to be happening. You are preparing for it. You are getting ready for it. And again, this doesn't have to be anything physical, even though, like, think of affirmations, journaling prompt, visualizations. Those are things that help us, but are technically physical things. And I know doing things, changing your physiology is actually the quickest way to a state change. So if you ever find yourself in a less than positive feeling, do something, change your physiology, do some jumping jacks, run around, do a backflip, do a cartwheel, go change your environment, do something, because we usually attach our state to certain ideas and certain things. And the crazy thing is, knowing you are going to be with your specific person is just as easy as thinking about it. It just becomes your reality. So a lot of people are going to ask, so how do I just know that I'm going to be with my specific person? Well, the best way to do it is to disregard what is happening in your external reality and stop connecting things that are happening around you as being in support or not in support to your manifestation, okay? Because everything is in support of their manifestation. And I can actually give you an example of this that causes us to kind of think in a confusing state. So think about the essence of someone who is manifesting their specific person and thinks, if they would just text me, I would feel so much better, right? If they just texted me. But what does them texting you have to do with them being obsessed with you? And the answer has to be, well, absolutely nothing. Them texting you is not them falling in love with you. So why are we so obsessed with this idea of them texting us when in reality we want to focus on the other thing, the thing that we actually want, which is them pursuing you, chasing you, being in love with you, right? That's the focus. And the more we focus on these three-dimensional trophies, the less we can actually think about what we want, because then we start to just think about what we desire because we have these conditions set that our specific person has to text us before they love us, and thus we can't be in a state of knowing. But knowing, again, is just a state of being. Knowing is going to change your imagined future with your specific person. It's going to make it seem so much real. It's the difference between what Neville Goddard would say, thinking of the end versus thinking from the end. If you're just thinking about what you want, that's thinking of the end, right? That's that thinking, and thinking is different than knowing. Thinking from the end is the essence of knowing. You are acting and feeling as if this is truly your reality. And when you act and know this idea, so know that you are going to be with your specific person, you actually can't physically continuously do the same things that you have been doing, because you knowing or being the person that's already with your SP acts totally different, entirely and completely different. And this is all a shift that's happening internally. And again, we're probably going to get the question still of, so how do I do this? But again, disconnect what you feel your 3D reality is doing to stop you from being with your specific person. There's nothing in your 3D stopping you. This is all an internal state change. And yes, that means in that state of knowing, you are exponentially increasing the reality that your specific person texts you right now. And someone's probably going to comment on this video that their specific person did text them in this moment. But that's the difference between knowing and then just thinking about it. And as always, I want to give kind of an example or a success story from a recent coaching session that talks about this. So still acting along the lines that no matter what conditions are on your reality or what has been occurring, your specific person can message you right now. Here's what they texted me. Hi, Kyle. Just wanted to give you an update really quick. My specific person reached out and texted me last night after not really seeing or speaking to him in the last 3 months. I'm taking this as positive movement. I would absolutely say that this is positive movement. Having your specific person reach out to you just from a difference in state change and the idea of knowing you're going to be with your specific person rather than just thinking about it is obviously awesome and amazing movement. And things like this, because I know obviously getting a text is not our overall goal, but everything always comes through a bridge of events. So again, this connection or being texted by a specific person isn't exactly entirely what we want and isn't directly connected to this feeling that we have within, but obviously it's the correct bridge of events leading you to your specific person. So basically the idea is your specific person will text you right here, right now, with, or you have the ability to within you right now, based on your thoughts, feelings, and assumptions, and knowing that you're going to be together. But it's paradoxical because you actually have to disconnect your worry that being texted equals being in a relationship, and thus you will manifest the text way faster immediately in this moment if this idea is taken completely seriously. Because I just want to mention again, what is stopping your specific person from reaching out to you right now? What's stopping you from just knowing you're going to be together, right? There's absolutely nothing stopping that. And once you know this, you're going to realize that you immediately receive and act upon divine guidance, because that's what you're going to do if you know you're going to do something. If you know you're having spaghetti for dinner and you're through your cabinets you have no spaghetti noodles, right? You're gonna go get them, right? It's gonna be an automatic response, in the same way that Neville Goddard would say, the individual who is jailed immediately desires freedom. What we desire to do in the moment is always going to be connected to our state, and thus the act of knowing changes that entirely. So if you want to increase this momentum and know that you're going to be with your specific person, leave a thumbs up on this video and don't forget to subscribe. As well as all this, if you did have any questions at all, make sure to leave them in the comments section below. And if you wanted to send me a personal question or sign up for coaching yourself, head over to kyleaugustcoaching.com. And really, honestly, you're doing me a favor by doing this, because you're going to have a success story just like this one, and then I'll be able to make another video about it. Thank you so much for stopping by today, and I can't wait to see you in my next video.